Hello everybody. We human beings do lots of tasks in our life. We work as employee in the organization, we work in home, but sometimes we are not satisfied with our work. We are not satisfied with the output. We are not satisfied with the output of our work. What may be the reason for that? There may be different reasons. We have no idea how to perform that task. That may be the reason. Or the environment was not favorable to us. That may be another reason. But sometimes having knowledge and environment is favorable. In that case also we are not able to perform tasks properly. We do not get expected output. In the organizations, employees will be performing different tasks and activities like recruiting new employee, selling product, manufacturing product, providing services to the customers, but they are not able to do these things properly. The customers are not satisfied. What may be the reason for that? Okay, we can consider other tasks also. As a human being, we do lots of things at our home also. We go to the grocery shop to purchase products, but we may not be satisfied that we are not able to save time while doing the shopping. What may be the reason for that? We don't have the skill knowledge. It is not necessary. We may have skill, we may have knowledge to perform the tasks. Even in that case, we are not able to perform tasks according to our need. What may be the reason? To perform any tasks and activities, people must understand that tasks. In organization, tasks and activities are considered as business processes. Organization develops certain rules and regulations to perform those business processes. Those business processes consist of sub-processes, components. So in order to perform those business processes properly, it is necessary to understand the components and sub-processes involved within those business processes. If people, employee of the organization, have proper knowledge and skill, then they will be able to understand those business processes, the components and sub-processes involved within those business processes. And if there are any kinds of errors, limitations, they will be able to know those errors and limitations. And they may be able to come up with a solution for those limitations and errors. They may be able to improve those processes or sub-processes. So what I am trying to say is, it is necessary to understand the business process from the beginning to end to perform or to execute those business processes properly. And to understand the business processes, it is necessary for the people to actively participate within those business processes. People must have knowledge and skill to understand the business process. And if they actively participate within those business processes, they will know what are the components, sub-processes within those business processes. What are the phases that are going on within those business processes, they will be able to understand. And if there are any errors, problems, they will be able to know those errors and problems. And they may be able to figure out solutions for those errors and problems. If you go back in the history, we can find different examples where people are able to improve the whole business process by actively participating within those business processes. Here I would like to talk about the car manufacturing in the 90s. In 1885, Carl Benz made first combustion engine, but it was Henry Ford who made cars easily available to middle class people. Henry Ford established Ford Company in the beginning of 1900, and his company was making limited number of cars per day. Henry Ford was motivated to make more cars for general people. He knows the car making process was a long time. He was actively participating within the car manufacturing process. His co-workers were there. So he motivated himself to make more cars. So he started rigorously whole business process of manufacturing cars from beginning to the end. He was actively participating within each and every phase of the car manufacturing. He and his co-workers were able to understand that the assembling of car was taking long time. So they thought how to reduce this car assembling process. They experimented with different results and they came up with the concept of moving assembly line, which enabled them to make car efficiently. Using the moving assembly line, they were able to assemble car within 1 hour. Previously, to assemble a car, 12 hours were required. So by understanding the whole business process, Henry Ford and his co-workers were able to figure out what are the limitation or problem within this process and how to solve those problems. They were the engineers. They have the knowledge and skill to solve the problems. Okay, so active participation within the business process is necessary. Another example I would like to talk about is 24 hours Le Mans sports cars race that is conducted annually in France. Le Mans race is different from other races like Formula 1. In the Formula 1, which car completes the distance fastest is the winner. But in case of the Le Mans sports car race, the winner is that one which covers maximum distance within 24 hours. It is endurance focused. Here the manufacturers have to make the powerful car which can survive for 24 hours or which can run maximum distance within 24 hours. The car makers, engineers were always eager to improve the performance. They always wanted to cover maximum distance within the 24 hours. They were actively participating within the whole race process, and they came to know that the cars that run in the race were taking huge amount of fuel. The cars needed to refuel again and again during the race period. The refueling was taking lots of time. So in order to cover maximum distance, they have to reduce the refueling time. So what they thought to solve that problem. Increasing the capacity of the tank was not the solution because acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass. That is according to the Sir Isaac Newton's laws of motion. So there was no point of increasing the volume of the tank. So what the engineers, manufacturers of the car thought, why they do not come with the fuel efficient car? Means those cars in which refueling time is reduced. If they can reduce the number of refueling, then the cars can cover more distance. So they came up the sports racing car which were fuel efficient, and at the same time manufacturers were able to make not only the fuel efficient racing cars but cars for the general public also which were fuel efficient. Here also the active participation within the whole race process enabled manufacturers, engineers to come up with the concept of fuel efficient car which were able to cover more distance within 24 hours. So active participations of the managers, workers within the business process is necessary. Knowledge and skill definitely are required. But just by having knowledge and skill, if people do not participate within the business process, they cannot do anything. They will not understand what is happening in between the business process. What are the components involved? What are the sub-process? How they are working together? They may not be able to understand if they are not involved within those processes. So it is necessary. In 1985, Michael Porter, American academic, suggested the concept of value chain. Value chain model also emphasized to understand the business processes of the organization from the beginning to the end. Business processes from the beginning to end, it should be understood what are the components involved within those business processes. It is necessary to understand how those components interact with each other. It should be known, and how these components are interacting. If it can be known, we may be able to figure out issues, problems within those components, those interactions, those phases, and we may be able to solve those issues and problems. So understanding the value chain from the beginning to the end enables us to understand the business process, the components involved within the business process, sub-processes involved within the business process. And in order to understand everything of the business process, it is necessary to actively participate within those business processes, and knowledge and skills are definitely required for the employees and the managers. So ultimately, in order to improve our tasks and activities, we must have knowledge and skill, but we must actively participate within those processes. Then only we will be able to know if there are any limitations, any issues, problems within those processes. Then, and using our skill, knowledge, or help of other people, we may be able to rectify those issues and problems. Then we may be able to enhance our performance. We may be able to get expected output. So active participation of people within the process is necessary. People may have information, knowledge about the management, but that may not be sufficient to perform properly if they do not participate actively within the business process. Organizations, employers are recruited, and there is the recruitment process. There are several steps or phases, sub-processes within that recruitment process, like announcement of the vacancy, collection of the applications, sorting of the application, then generating the merit list, then conducting the interview, and then selecting the employee. So here within the recruitment process we can find sub-processes. And if you understand these sub-processes, we may be able to know where lots of times are consumed, why recruitment process is taking lots of time. Application collection will take time, sorting the applications will take time, generating merit list will take time. Here if we can use the information system, then we can collect applications with the help of information system, sort the application using the information system, generate the merit list. So with the help of this information system, we will be able to reduce the duration of the recruitment process. So for every manager, it is necessary to understand the whole business process. They have to participate from the beginning to the end of the business process and understand each and every component, sub-process of the business processes. Then they may be able to figure out what is happening within the sub-processes. Are there any limitations? Are there some kind of delay happening within the sub-process? They will be able to know. So the active participations of employee within the business process is very, very necessary. It is compulsory for them to have knowledge and skill to perform those tasks and activities, but their active participation is also essential to execute those tasks and activities successfully to get expected output. Saving time is one of the motive of lots of employees, lots of organizations. So how to save time? In case of the manufacturing plant also, if whole process from the beginning to end is started properly, people with the knowledge, skill may understand where lots of times are consumed in between processes and how those time consuming process can be eliminated or improved, they can know. So the active participation within the business process is necessary. Employees must have knowledge and skill. Then only active participation, knowledge, skill of the employee will enable employees to perform their business processes according to their need and successfully.